Good evening, Busy Bees. It's Tuesday, December 2nd. Here's your evening news rundown in under 5 minutes. So, the fog of war. We are continuing our Caribbean Gate situation where the U.S. has killed over 80 people, but there's controversy over one particular incident, as discussed yesterday and this morning, where they double tapped a ship, killing everyone there. Leaving no survivors, which is against the rules of engagement, the rules of war, international law, United States law, and all the rest. All 80 are in question, as there's no proof that these people were trafficking anything. So there's also that little tidbit of information. In a public remark today, Hegseth defended the operation, invoking the fog of war. He claimed that he had not seen any survivors and said the decision to restrike was made by the naval commander and the naval commander alone. Except he went on Fox News and said right after this incident that he watched the whole thing live, essentially quarterbacking this situation. You mean to tell me he had no communication with that admiral as this was ongoing, as the strike was happening, after he saw the survivors? There is a log. These things are videotaped. We will know. We will know what the record states. You're not going to be able to doctor that. Not only do you have to worry about the admiral corroborating that story, there are 7 individuals, especially 2 listed as informants, who were directly in the room with you when you said it. But who cares about evidence, right? Who cares about the rules of laws? Not this regime. The relatives of at least one of the persons killed in the strike have submitted a formal complaint raising the stakes for accountability and oversight. The complaint accuses the United States military of excessive force and calls into question the legality and transparency of the operation, especially given conflicting official statements about who ordered the second strike and under what legal authority. If an investigation confirms the shipwrecked survivors were intentionally killed, the U.S. lawmakers and international human rights observers warn the action could be considered a war crime. And what will happen? That's what I want to know. That's what everyone wants to know. When are the people committing these crimes in our government going to be punished? That's the question, isn't it? The U.S. Department of Agriculture has threatened to halt administrative funding to states that refuse to provide immigration status and benefit history data on SNAP recipients, including Social Security numbers. The move disproportionately affects Democratic-led states such as California, New York, and Minnesota, which have pushed back, citing privacy concerns and potential misuse of data for immigration enforcement. That's exactly what they want it for. They want it by any means necessary. This is the government overreaching yet again and punishing blue states for having sanctuary laws. Some states have already filed lawsuits against the USDA, arguing the data request violates federal privacy laws and withholding federal funds undermines program stability. Also, they can't do that. They cannot withhold money already allocated. They can try to delay it all they want. Eventually, it will come to the states. These lawsuits will prevail yet again. The administration recently pardoned a Honduran individual convicted of drug trafficking, has reignited controversy. Yeah, because we know he paid for it. That's the problem. We know that he paid for this pardon. Not to mention that one of his cronies, Robert Stone, is the one that brought this to Donald Trump's attention. Where's the money? And who is it getting funneled through is my question. What's your questions? Anyway, that's the evening news rundown. Let me know your thoughts. Stay smart, stay safe, stay informed. Like, share, and follow if you can.